This right here is a follow-up video from the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence crap. Where it was exposed that Sam the Luggage Thief Britain was a former member. Shout out Sister Radioactive. He's a cringe individual and a felon as well, but that's actually a pretty clever name if we're going to keep it a buck. But more importantly, over the top of that, I began the video with the preface that the Dodgers are trying to do a, make right by saying that, hi, we're going to have a Christian night. And yeah, it's just going to be like a month and a half later. Don't worry about it. It'll totally make up for that June 16th atrocity that we're going to have on the field. But the Dodgers did the best thing that they possibly could. They rolled out their biggest star, who happens to be, a conservative. I don't know if he's actually conservative. He's at least a Christian guy. And I said he probably had to do that through gritted teeth. I have no disdain for Clayton Kershaw. Hell, I opined about him when we talked about it. And he's one of my favorite players that's out there, and he's up there in the conversation for greatest left-handed pitcher of all time. Like, it's so weird that we get to see that. Like, okay, there's what? Sandy Koufax, Randy Johnson. There's probably a few old cats from, back in the dead ball days, but unironically, Clayton Kershaw's in that very, 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 very short list. Top 5, maybe top 3 when it's all said and done. If the Dodgers end up winning another championship, he could very well end up being right up there at the top. And he hasn't really rubbed anybody the wrong way outside of like Dodgers fans and other, in-division rivals. So for him to go out there and say that, they'll be like, yeah, I know you're probably not all that happy about that weird Pride night beforehand. And yeah, this is just kind of an optics play by the Dodgers, because if they announce it, okay, there's no real layer of protection, but yeah, we'll just roll out Kershaw because everybody just kind of has a general level of appreciation for him. And lo and behold, a couple of days later, Clayton Kershaw says he doesn't agree with the Dodgers' inclusion of queer and trans nuns group in Pride night. Of course not. Like, who could be happy with that? Because I said at the beginning, when all of this stuff was kicking off, the will they, won't they? Okay, are you guys coming back? Are you also going to go to the Angels? It's a drag group. It's a trans group. It's a sexual deviant group. Why do you want to put that on Front Street for a bunch of kids that are down there? And your average rank and file Dodgers fans, we'll just call it exactly what it is. They're mostly Mexican cats who are going to be in the stands. And societally speaking, what do social aspects of a vast majority of Hispanic cultures, so many of their beliefs and their values are very conservative. So to just go out there and to run a strong mockery of Catholicism out there, that's not going to play very well to your base. It might play well to the groups that are never coming down to Chavez Ravine in order to catch a game, but it's not going to play well for your fans. They're going to get booed vociferously. Good luck with that. Dodgers pitchers said he isn't condemning the group. But come on, man. Come on, Clayton. Okay, but is instead announcing for a Christian Faith Day game at the stadium. Yes, of course. Pitcher Clayton Kershaw is speaking out about the timing of the 2 upcoming promotions at Dodger Stadium. In response to the, you say extending the invitation, I'll say just back and forth with the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence during an upcoming Pride Night celebration at the park. The 9-time All-Star told the LA Times that he expected his own announcement that the ball club would celebrate Christian Faith Day this year, the first time since 2019. I think we were always going to do Christian Faith Day. This year. But I think the timing of our announcement was sped up. Kershaw, 35, told the outlet. Picking a date and doing those different things was part of it as well. Yes, it was in response to highlighting the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence by the Dodgers. Dodgers' own history with the Sisters, who are a leading edge order, capitalized order, of queer and trans nuns, has also not been a straight line of late. Yeah, they went back and forth on all that stuff, obviously, right? Late last week, the National League West leading franchise. Oh, good. Glad the Dodgers are performing well, even though they did Trevor Bauer extremely dirty. I legitimately don't know who's leading every division. I've totally checked out on MLB. It's fucking garbage. Also announced that it was bringing back Christian Faith Day and retweeted Kershaw's announcement on Twitter. Fantastic. The 3-time Cy Young Award winner and 1-time MVP. Why don't you say that one, huh? Has been vocal over the years about his views on religion. Yet the Dallas native, who founded the Christian charity Kershaw's Challenge along with his wife Ellen, told the Times that he doesn't have faith in the sisters' belief. No, of course. It's all comedy, bro. I don't agree with making fun of other people's religion. religion. It has nothing to do with anything other than that. Sure, Clayton, we know that the recorder's running and there's some other things that you'd want to say because you're a reasonable individual. I just don't think that no matter what religion you are, you should make fun of somebody else's religion. So that's something that I definitely don't agree with, he added. For us, we felt like the best thing to do in response was, instead of maybe making a statement condemning or anything like that, would be just to instead try to show what we do support, as opposed to maybe what we don't. And that was Jesus. So to make Christian Faith Day, our response is what we felt like was the best decision. So while he doesn't want to condemn this decision by the Dodgers, he's got a teammate who does. Blake Treinen, by the way, reliever, pretty skilled reliever, by the way. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what his stats are nowadays, but Dodgers pitcher releases a statement slamming team's decision to honor anti-Christian drag nuns organization. Yeah, he's not going to be as diplomatic as, the ace. Dodgers pitcher Blake Treinen issued a strong rebuke of the team's decision to host a community, and give a community hero award. Yeah, people didn't want to, disclose that little tidbit of information, but it's true, which is ridiculous, to the anti-Catholic trans group, the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. SPE, for those of you who are not in the know. Turning Point USA Faith contributor Sean Foyt, posted the statement on Twitter saying, my friend and MLB pitcher Blake Treinen asked that I post a statement for him in regards to the Dodgers honoring the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. #hold the line. Treinen wrote in the letter, I'm disappointed to see the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence being honored as heroes at Dodger Stadium. Many of their performances are blasphemous. I showed the picture in the previous video. And their work only displays hate and mockery of Catholics and the Christian faith. I understand that playing baseball is a privilege and not a right, Treinen added. My convictions in Jesus Christ will always come first. Since I have been with the Dodgers, they have been at the forefront of supporting a wide variety of groups. However, inviting the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence to perform disenfranchises a large community and promotes hate of Christians and people of faith. This is the way that you do it. The single event alienates the fans and the supporters of the Dodgers, Major League Baseball, and professional sports. People like baseball for its entertainment value and competition. The fans do not want propaganda or politics forced on them. The debacle with Bud Light and Target should be a warning to companies and professional sports to stay true to their brand and leave the propaganda and politics off the field. Treinen continued, I believe Jesus Christ died on the cross for my sins. I believe that the word of God is true, and that in Galatians 6:7 it says, do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. The group openly mocks Jesus Christ, the cornerstone of my faith. And I want to make it clear that I do not agree with nor support the decision for the Dodgers to honor the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. This group openly mocks Jesus Christ, the cornerstone of my faith, and I want to make it clear that he doesn't support. So I guess the post-millennial really wanted to drive this one home. But as for me and my house, I will serve the Lord. Joshua 24:15, Treinen concluded. Very biblical. Very based. Normally, okay, the guys who want to lead with their faith, it's interesting, but this is one of those unique scenarios where, yes, the faith is being mocked, and I don't mind Clayshaw, trying to merge together Clayton and Kershaw in the exact same, word, shipping his name, weird. But no, his statement where it's like, okay, cool, you can just ignore one side of it, and then you can just do what you're going to do regardless. That's definitely one way to do it. Just, pay no mind to that stuff, and we're just going to go over here and we're going to celebrate and appreciate what we like, which is not too dissimilar from the way that I would advise Bud Light and Target to move. But I like this statement a little bit better. Mostly because it's like, yeah, get this trans shit out of here, okay? Because you can go the way of the NBA and just go completely full woke and drive off all of your casual viewers, or you can be like the NHL. We talked about them getting rid of pride nights into the future because, the Stahl brothers that are still in the league, a couple of based Russians, and a few other players as well. I just didn't want to do any of that stuff. Would just go ahead and boycott the early warm-ups where they were wearing their rainbow jerseys, wouldn't put the rainbow tape on their sticks. And then even the commissioner, Gary Bettman, came out and said, well, we're just going to go ahead and reevaluate if we're going to be doing Pride Nights in the future. Standing up, the players themselves have to inspire the change. So yes, while I do understand the tightrope walk that Clayton Kershaw has to do because he's at an elevated position and don't pay attention to what the left hand is doing, pay attention to what the right is doing, Blake Treinen statement is a little bit more effective. And it's also contagious, which is why I'm thinking that we could see an NHL moment for the MLB. The picture right here, okay, deeply troubled anti-Catholic LGBT group being honored by the Dodgers. Washington Nationals pitcher Trevor Williams has voiced his deep concern over the LA Dodgers' decision to reinvite and honor an anti-Catholic gay drag group to their annual Pride Night this year. As a devout Catholic, Catholics and Christians coming together, you'll love to see it. All over their detestation of the gay agenda? Fantastic. I am deeply troubled by the Dodgers' decision to reinvite and honor this group, the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, at their Pride Night this year. A devout Catholic, Williams explained that he finds the group's actions offensive and disrespectful to his religious beliefs. He asserts that Major League Baseball's games should be a place where people from all walks of life feel welcomed and respected. Yeah, exactly. Because I don't see those sisters mocking the prophet. Yeah, I don't see anybody dressed up like Muhammad. Yeah, exactly. However, a star baseball player points out the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence drag queen group openly mocks and disrespects Catholics, a faith group of over 4 million people in Los Angeles County alone. And yeah, a lot of Hispanics are deeply, deeply Catholic. Yeah, they describe them. We've already been over who they are to begin with, and it makes me sick. In a video shared on social media, Bishop Robert Barron explains the sacrilegious nature of an Easter display by the sisters, in which they staged a crucifixion scene with a performer acting as Jesus and twerking on the stage and spraying lotion in the air like it's a Big Dick Johnson backstage promo. If you get that reference, YouTube were probably watching the Fed long after it was good. Anyways, for Catholics, it's hard to imagine anything more offensive than that, Bishop Barron said. Expressing his disbelief in what he described as discriminatory behavior by drag queen group against Catholics, he questioned why attacking Catholics in a disgraceful way was not only okay, but being honored by the Dodgers. I love to see guys standing up to this nonsense because, yeah, baseball, Major League Baseball specifically, out of any of the sports that's out there, is probably, NBA is kind of encroaching just a little bit, but on the grand scheme of things, it's probably more multicultural and definitely draws from a heavy, heavy Central American influence. And knowing their deep religious ties, this shit ain't gonna fly all that well, so I would anticipate there's probably gonna be a couple more people start to voice their opposition to this move that they see right here, because yeah, it's just 3 white guys standing up right now, which, okay, nothing wrong with that, and they're still, believers in the Lord right now, so I'll just be interested to see what the next move is, because we know that the Dodgers aren't gonna fold on their end, but more players want to come out and have, decent takes, which is hilarious in retrospect with that stupid Anthony Bass. Oh my god, that's why you never, ever, ever deal with anybody who's terrible with women. Sharing one take about the Target and a Bud Light boycott. Oh, he should have just waited a couple of days and he could have hopped on this bandwagon, the fucking follower that he is. Oh my god, you deserve to have your wife leave you. But yes, it looks like the Christians, it looks like the Catholics are finally starting to fight back. Not a moment too soon. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.